storied country filled with beauty, history, exotic landscapes, boasting places like the Amazon, the Andes, nearly 2,000 species of birds, beaches, incredible wildlife diversity, and almost above all, coffee. That famed jitter juice that most of the world has come to consume, and some of the best coffee in the world comes from Colombia. But why is this? And where exactly does it come from? If you've ever been to Colombia, you will know at its core, and that it's even an understatement to say, it's a very special place. The passion of the people towards protecting the environment and the purposeful pursuit of whatever they do, the Colombian people are also well known for the amazing coffee coming from El Eje Cafetero, the coffee area or Coffee Triangle of Colombia. And we're going to explore a little bit about how much we learned on stop number 4 of our Colombian road trip. But before that, we can back up just a little bit and talk some about just how we got here. Driving in Colombia can be a bit wild. The mountainous terrain, winding roads, massive trucks, and tiny villages, weaving and snaking through insanely beautiful jungle and river valleys, across sometimes questionable bridges and even abandoned train tunnels. Driving in general, we really believe can be one of the most personal and first-person experiences of amazing cultures, and some places hold a few more thrills than others. Following the roads in Colombia was always a bit of a trip. Even growing up in the rural Northwest, I've seen my fair share of difficult roads, unmarked routes, and what we will diplomatically refer to as adventurous terrain. But nothing compares quite as much with the adventure of driving in Colombia. Coming across all manner of road conditions, traffic, challenges, and ultimately, I was continually impressed with the ability of Google Maps to know where we were. But also our little rental vehicle we picked up in Medellin and eventually named Tiki Taka, in honor of a restaurant stop we found. Our incredible journey throughout Colombia was easily worth the trip, and some of the destinations and experiences we were lucky enough to encounter will stay with us for a lifetime. Even today, not many days pass without remembering, discussing, or reminiscing just how beautiful, special, and really ecologically unique Colombia is, and how we can't wait to go back. And we're going to look at a few places that we were lucky enough to experience in the area of Colombia, not only known for its coffee, coffee farms, coffee tourism, and coffee drinking, but amazing biodiversity, beauty, and spectacle that will keep us always coming back and holding our memories in Colombia especially close. Of the 3 main areas, Caldas, Risaralda, and Quindio, we stayed in Quindio. The coffee zone is such a dense aggregation of cultural attractions, beautiful landscapes, and serves as such a model for agricultural development along with environmental protection that it has even been listed a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 2011 as a coffee cultural landscape. We suggest as one of the best and most interesting things you can do in the coffee area is obviously visit a coffee farm. And that's exactly what we did, with Caro and Alejandro on their incredible farm and coffee production, La Cascada. La Cascada Coffee's operation was super impressive, and just the scale of it was staggering at first. The topography of steep hillsides and often hand-planted, tended, and harvested process creates a situation in which very little machinery can be used. One of the reasons it is a lot of work, but is also more sustainable. Alejandro and Caro were extremely passionate about their property, and their tour and Airbnb experience was awesome, and we'll leave their info for it here and in the description. As we toured their land, we got to see such an intimate view into what looked like such a pure life, tending the land, minimizing impact, and really creating something with quality, patience, and care. Coffee growing is just one step in an amazing process taking years from planting to fruit, to picking, to processing, and eventually drying and roasting or packaging. Alejandro was super knowledgeable, and we gained an entirely new appreciation, not only for the work that goes into every bag of coffee you may see or consume, but for the people who lead their lives, caring for the environment, the other species that can benefit from more natural crops and farming methods, and finding an equilibrium with nature that can help minimize impact. As we explored their property, we got to see in one day the unbelievable ecological diversity of Colombia, the coffee area, the crazy waterfall for which their finca or ranch is named, and even the outdoor shower Alejandro explained that his father still uses to this day. We even got to try a few straight from the fruit coffee beans, which are actually the fruit pits, and their sweetness and slippery texture were not expected, but still surprisingly very good. Their 3 German shepherds joined us as we sampled some of the fruit trees they were experimenting with and descended a steep trail that wound down the mountainous little valley to join the river below and enjoy the view. This area is the core production area for growing coffee in Colombia. With its climate, rich amounts of sun and rain, creating the perfect situation where coffee plants can thrive. Alejandro talked to the more than 100 bird species he had cataloged with a scope just from his own window at their home. Seeing and hearing about their most recent endeavor, a small outbuilding they had been working on, was a treat as well. And we had major secret fort or Swiss Family Robinson vibes from the jungle hut paradise nestled among the trees, above the river and surrounded by lush green forest and birds. We topped off the tour with, you may well have guessed, one epic cup of coffee. And they even sent us home with a couple of bags that we managed to savor for the following weeks. We felt we had only just arrived to another place in Colombia, and we're actually blown away once more with how many secret special places and hidden gems continued to be revealed to us. With another being where we would head to next, the Quindio Botanical Garden. But just before we talk about the Botanical Garden, we wanted to show you what turned out to be one of our favorite places to stay while in Quindio, right outside the small village of Quimbaya, in a bamboo hut in the middle of the jungle. Hola al mundo. So this morning we got up and had breakfast. We checked out of our place in Salento and we made this crazy drive. It was a little bit sketchy road. Barbie decided to surprise me with where we were staying. And this place is absolutely insane. We wound our way across the countryside near the city of Finlandia and across the forest and wound up here. Bienvenido a la casa bamboo. What are you making?
Just some pasta. Normal.
Normal, yeah, this is normal. Incredible bamboo house. It just finished raining. We've got coffee bag walls, bamboo floors. Pretty nifty bathroom, actually. Let's check out the upstairs. Even got a nice little window. And then up the ladder. Even the trees are growing in. Got the loft. This is my favorite part. That's such a bad view. And down below, you can see the city. Especial.
Daddy's upstairs.
Estamos profesionales.
Unassuming at first, the Quindio Botanical Garden is a densely biodiverse, small park, bird viewing area, museum and natural park tucked right near the city of Calarca, just outside the largest city of Armenia. Despite being right off a main highway, we were blown away with the bird species frequenting the area, from hummingbirds, toucans, tanagers, barbets, and we even got lucky enough to see a taira visiting the feeding areas placed for viewing. Finishing it all off with a refreshing jungle rainstorm, we waited out the downpour and got to spy some of the incredible specimens in the butterfly aviary, or mariposario, before it was time to head back to the bamboo hut. I never realized how much we just didn't know about the aspects, details, and intricate workings of growing coffee. We also learned about the drying process, the temperatures required, some of the equipment, and some of the machinery used in order to separate the fruit from the beans or pits, creating massive amounts of byproduct that can then be recycled, reused as compost or bioproducts with a more sustainable nature. We learned about leafcutter ants, able to defoliate coffee plants in one night. Alejandro even mentioned that there are coffee beans so rare and sought after due to their fermentation process, consumed by fox-like animals called civet cats, left in their droppings and collected later to be used and processed, creating a unique flavor found nowhere else in the world. Look it up, not even a joke. Our next stop was a pretty significant distance away and would take us to one of the most peculiar places of everywhere we drove or even went to in Colombia, Villa Vieja and El Desierto de la Tatacoa.